Hello viewers, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, stands before you with a very important topic of paper 8 of 4th semester, that is meaning, definition and procedures of election. I request my viewers to watch this video attentively until the end, and in course of watching this video you should prepare your notes so that your problem of notes on meaning and definition and procedure of election will be over. I am getting a lot of comments from my viewers that, sir, give us notes. My videos are itself notes. If you watch this video attentively and simultaneously if you write down notes, your notes will be over. And all my videos are prepared after reading a lot of books. So I request my viewers to make best use of this video. Okay, my viewers, we'll start. What is the meaning and definition of democracy, and what is the meaning and definition of election, and what are the procedures of election? Let us start. What is election? In the present society, democracy is the best form of government. But to make democracy real, suitable, best, election is the only medium. Only through election, democracy can function well and true fragrance of democracy can be realized. So, election is a medium to make democracy successful. But election must be free, fair and legal. That is why it is said, no election, no democracy. Again it is said, no free, fair and regular elections, no real democracy. So, to make democracy a real one, to make democracy a better one, election is necessary. So, what is election? Election means it is a system through which people choose their representatives by casting vote. So, election means it is a system by which people choose their representatives by casting vote. Whenever people select the representative or choose their representative by casting vote or by exercising vote, it is known as election. So in this context, Professor Schumpeter has told, election means it is that type of institutional arrangement. Election means it is that type of institutional arrangement for filling up public offices who will act either as legislator or executives or both, as is the case of parliamentary democracy. It means, according to Schumpeter, election is a method which fills up public offices. And those who will be in the public offices, they can be legislator or executive. So, to make it more clear, election is nothing else but a system or a procedure or a medium by which people choose their representative or people select their representative by casting vote. So we are clear what is election. Now discuss. There are many features of election. If we will discuss about 9-10 features of election, we will be clear about the actual meaning of election. So what are the features of election? The first feature of election is that it is an opportunity to people to elect their representative who are to represent them in government of the state. So, first feature of election is that it is an opportunity to people to select their representatives who will represent people in the government. So the first feature of election is that it is an opportunity which is given to people to select their representatives who will represent them in the government. Number two, election gives legitimate right to government to rule over people. Election gives legitimate right or legal right to government to rule over people or to serve people. Only by election, a government will get legal right to rule over people. Otherwise not. Number three, by election, people review the performance of government and alter the government. Election is a system by which people review the performance of government. If they are satisfied with the performance of government, they again re-vote the government. If they are not satisfied with the performance of the government, they can change the government. And the fourth feature of election is that election makes representatives either in the ruling party or in opposition group. By election, people choose the representatives by casting vote. But their representatives may be in the ruling group or in the opposition group. If they will be in the ruling group, they will rule. If they will be in the opposition group, they will watch the activities of the government and they will control the government. And the fifth important feature of the election is that election is the major source of creating political leaders of future. Election is the major source of creating political leaders of the future. Because whenever there will be election, different people participate in the election, different people take part in the campaigning process. From their activities, it will be known who will be the future leaders of the country. So election is a source which will give future leaders of the country. By participating in the election, by participating in the election system, it will be clear who will be the political leader of the country. Election gives an idea about the future political leaders. 6. Election gives political education to people by participating in election. Election gives political education to people by participating in politics. Another feature of election is that people by participating in the election will get political education. They will cast their vote, they will take part in the election campaigning process, they will attend public meetings by which their political knowledge will be enlarged. Okay, viewers, very interesting. Then, election involves people directly in the government process. Another feature of election is that it involves people directly in the administration. People will cast the vote, people will watch the activities of the government, people will contest in the election. So, election is a medium by which people directly participate in the political system or government process. 8. It is a constitutional right about who will rule and up to what time. Election is a constitutional right. It is a legal right which is given who will rule and up to what time. Then come to point number 9. It is an universally recognized process of people's representation in government and governance of country. Election is a medium to select people's representative, and this system is universally acknowledged. Election is universally recognized, it is universally acknowledged. No one can go against the election process. It is an accepted principle. Finally, it reveals people's reaction towards ruling party's performance. Election reveals, it makes it clear about ruling party's performance. If people are satisfied with the performance of the government in the election, they will give vote, they will re-vote the government, re-vote the ruling party. If they are not satisfied with the performance of the ruling party, they will change the ruling party. So, it reveals people's reaction towards ruling party's performance. So, from the election, people reaction will be known whether they support the ruling party or not. So we are clear what is an election. We've discussed the definition of Schumpeter and we have discussed 10 features of election. Now discuss another part of election, that is procedure of election in India. In the world, in every country there are elections. In the world, except a few, in every country there are elections. And in every country there is a machinery to conduct election. And in India, the machinery is Election Commission of India, which conducts the election, which was established on 25th January 1950. And till now, Election Commission of India conducted 17 general elections. So, in India, so in every country, elections are held. In every country, there is a machinery to control elections. In India also, there is a machinery which controls election, that is Election Commission of India. And Election Commission of India conducts or prepares election on the basis of 10 procedures. The first procedure of election of India, the first procedure of election in India is the delimitation of constituencies by delimitation commission. The first procedure of election in India, that President will appoint a delimitation commission after every census. In India, in every 10 years, census is conducted or counting of population is made. When census will be over, the President of India will form a delimitation commission. The function of delimitation commission is to constitute constituencies on the basis of population. And it is the function of delimitation commission to see population of all constituencies will be more or less same. So the first procedure of election in India is the delimitation of constituencies by the delimitation commission. It means the first procedure is that the President will appoint a delimitation committee to constitute constituencies. Delimitation commission will constitute the constituencies and it will see that constituencies population will be more or less equal. And the decision of the delimitation commission is the final. So this is the first procedure of election in India. Number 2, preparation of electoral rolls. The second procedure is preparation of electoral rolls. For all the constituencies, constituencies of India, polling registers or electoral rolls will be prepared. And these electoral rolls are prepared with some years of gap. From time to time, electoral rolls are updated. Those persons who have died, their names will be deleted, and those persons who have left the constituencies, their name will be deleted, and those persons who have come to the constituency to settle, and those persons who have completed the age of 18 years, their name will be included in the electoral rolls. So second procedure of the election in India is the preparation of electoral rolls. It is updated from time to time. And number 3, notification of election and appointment of returning officers and other staff. Third procedure is the notification of election and appointment of returning officers and other staff. The third procedure is that President will give a notice to the election commission to go for election. After that, the election commission will consult the central government and state government, will fix the election date and election schedule. When the nomination will be made for election, when scrutinization will be made, when withdrawal of nominations will be made, whenever results will be declared. So third phase is the notification of election and appointment of returning officers and other officers. It means when the time of election will come, the president will intimate the election commission to prepare for election, to go for election. Then election commission will consult central government and state government and will prepare the election schedule. Then it will appoint the returning officers under whom in a constituency election will be held. Then it will also appoint regional election commissioners to assist the election commission in conducting election. The fourth one is filing of nomination papers. The fourth procedure is the filing of nomination papers. A date will be given, so candidates will come and they will file their nominations under the returning officer. Under the returning officer, they will have to deposit some fees. They will have to deposit some fees. For example, for Lok Sabha, a candidate will have to secure 25,000, and in the state assembly election, a candidate will have to secure deposit 10,000 rupees. And so far STS is concerned, they will deposit 10,000, 12,500, half of the money of general candidate for Lok Sabha seat, and in the state, STSC candidate will deposit 5,000 rupees. So the fourth one is filling of nominations. Candidates will come, they will fill up their nominations. They will write their name, their consent, and there must be two persons with them. One will propose their name, other one will give approval. Then he will have to deposit money. For Lok Sabha it will be 25,000. For state assembly it will be 10,000. For STSC for Lok Sabha 12,500, and for STSC for state assembly 5,000. They will have to deposit the money. Then the fifth one is scrutiny of nominations. After the candidates will file the nominations, then the nomination paper will be scrutinized by the returning officers. The returning officers will scrutinize about their date of birth, their qualifications, and is there any criminal records of them. And in this case, the opposing candidates may also bring complaint. So after scrutinizing the nominations of contesting candidates, the returning officer will prepare the final list. Then sixth one is withdrawal of nominations. After nomination, after scrutiny, a date will be given to contesting candidates to withdraw their nominations. So candidates can voluntarily withdraw their nominations from election, and if they will withdraw their nomination, the deposit money will be returned to them. Then seventh one is election campaign. Then political parties will be allowed to make campaigning. So political parties will come from door to door. They will convince people. They will publish their election manifesto, where they will mention their promises. So political campaigning will start. Political party will start their movement in convincing people. They will be given time in radio and television to speak their views. Only recognized political party will be allowed to speak in radio and television. Okay? And they will continue their campaigning up to 48 hours before election. So this is the seventh one. Then number 8, polling of votes. Then on the date of election, people will be told to give their votes. Whenever they will go to the polling booth, whenever they will go to the polling booth, their identifications will be verified, and they will be given a ballot paper where the name of the contesting candidates in one side and the symbol on the other side are mentioned. They will have to put a tick mark against the candidate to whom they will support. Then number 9, counting of votes. After the election will be over, the ballot boxes or EVM machines will be taken to the returning officers, and the returning officers and his staff will start counting votes. And when they will start counting votes, the representative of candidates will be present there. Then counting of votes and declaration of results. Then the returning officers will declare the result and he will communicate the result to the election commission. Finally, election petition for settlement of election disputes by High Court and finally by Supreme Court. Finally, when the result will be declared, at the time, one voter or a group of voters or the defeated candidate, if they are not satisfied with the election process, they can lodge a complaint in the High Court. High Court has the power to reject their complaint, and High Court has the power to declare the election as invalid, or High Court has the power also to declare a candidate invalid for 6 years. And if the candidate who has brought the complaint is not satisfied with the verdict of the High Court, he can go to Supreme Court again. And the verdict of Supreme Court is final. So in this video we have discussed that what is the election, then what is the definition of election, what are the features of election, and what are the procedures of election. We have discussed as many as 10 features. And another important thing I have forgotten, that is for Lok Sabha, a candidate can spend up to 70 lakhs in big states, and in small state a candidate can spend 50 lakhs. In a state, for legislative election, in larger state a candidate can spend 40 lakhs. In small states a candidate can spend 20 lakhs. So in this video, which is very useful video for the students of 4th semester, we have discussed what is election, how it is important for democracy. We have discussed 10 features of election and 10 procedures of election in India. Thank you viewers. I request you again to watch this video till the end, subscribe my channel because it is an academic channel, and request your friend to subscribe the same, and write down your notes while watching this video so that your problem will be over. Thank you. Again we will be here with another video. Till now, goodbye to all.